Jason tells Carly that Joss is in the WSB. Jason finally tells Carly that Joss is in the W. Plus, Rick has one heck of a story about where he's been. Thursday, October 16, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Anna connects the dots of what's going on back to Faison. Valentine gives Jack intel on Caesar's final project, and Molly is grateful to Cody. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Jason stops by Carly's place and she breaks the news to him that Joss' boyfriend Vaughn is a WSB agent. Carly admits she was furious at first, but realized it was classified information, which is why Jack couldn't tell her. She says Jack also assured her that Joss was always safe. Back from the dead? General Hospital's Faison may have a handsome new face and the same terrifying agenda. Jason cuts her off and tells her Brennan is lying to her. Carly lashes out, saying this is why she didn't want to tell him because he always blames Jack. Jason reveals that Joss is also in the WSB. Carly tells him that he's not making sense as Joss is in college. Jason explains he found Joss undercover with Vaughn at the same resort in Croatia where Britt was, posing as newlyweds on Jack's orders. Carly refuses to believe it and asks how he knows all this. Jason explains Anna found out what Brennan was up to and pointed him towards Britt, knowing he'd find Joss as well. He also assumes the Easter Island trip was a cover for Josh training with the WSB. Carly breaks down in tears and asks why Jack would bring her daughter into the WSB. Jason assumes he needs Joss for a certain mission. Carly realizes it's been a month since Britt has been back, so why didn't he tell her this sooner? He says Joss asked him not to, and her being undercover protects her. He is telling her now because he doesn't lie to her, and won't let Jack put someone he loves in danger. What information does Valentine have? At Steinmauer, Jack wants Valentine to tell him everything he knows about Caesar Faison's final project. Valentine wonders why Jack is so interested in a dead man. Jack informs him of Britt and Nathan's mysterious returns. Although he's certain Faison is dead, he fears his work continues. Jack explains that Britt has been working on a project centered in Croatia. Valentine says she must have been another cog in the wheel, as Faison would never trust Britt to lead anything. Jack asks who he would trust. Valentine can't tell him, but he says Faison wasn't working alone. What does Anna figure out? In Anna's office, Dante informs her that thanks to Jack, Lulu and Charlotte have just visited Valentine. Anna knows Jack only arranged the visit to get something big from Valentine. Anna doesn't like the timing of any of this. Why does Jack need information from Valentine just as two of Faison's children have resurfaced? She knows Faison is dead, but they cannot underestimate anything involving that man. Anna relays that Valentine worked with Faison for a period of time, and Dante knows Valentine was also close to Peter August, Faison's other son. Anna says that Faison was always focused on Nathan, to the point that he was fixated on his son. Will Charlotte ever see her dad again? Lulu and Charlotte are on their way back to Port Charles. Charlotte knows how her mom feels about her dad. But she also knows her mom did this for her and thanks her for it. Lulu tells her that her father's world has no rules, and his enemies could use her as leverage to reach him. That is why they need to be honest with one another so she can help protect her. What has Felicia concerned? At the hospital, Liz speaks with Felicia, who admits she's worried. Felicia fears Nathan might decide James should live with him. She feels James needs the security of his home and sisters, and Nathan is a stranger to the boy. However, Nathan has every right to take James. Liz suggests Felicia encourage Nathan to be a part of James' big family, rather than remove him from it. Family reunion? Nathan and Albrecht arrive at the Metro Court for dinner and spot Britt at the bar. Albrecht huffs and Nathan goes over to invite Britt to join them. Britt declines, so Albrecht also extends an invitation, though not a warm one. Britt still decides to pass and storms off to eat alone in her hovel of a room. As she's leaving, Rocco steps off the elevator and Britt wonders what he's doing here. Rocco explains he's here to meet Nathan and Albrecht. He tells Britt it was good to see her and walks over to the other, giving Albrecht a hug. Albrecht introduces Rocco to his uncle Nathan. Britt changes her mind about the invite and accepts as long as it's okay with Rocco. They all sit down and Nathan is forced to pull Albrecht away when she won't stop making snide remarks about Britt. He asks why she keeps laying into Britt. Albrecht thinks she deserves it and worse. Nathan suggests that instead of holding a grudge against Britt, maybe they can all be happy that they are together and alive. Meanwhile, Rocco asks Britt if her mom is mad at her. Britt says she is, as her mother is hurt by the way she left Port Charles and may never forgive her. Rocco suggests she give her time, and given his past conversations with her, it's obvious Albrecht loves her. Nathan and Albrecht return to Rocco and Britt, and Albrecht apologizes to her daughter for her comments. Albrecht suggests they document this occasion, and they all take a selfie on Rocco's phone. The conversation shifts to the crazy family Rocco has found himself mixed up in, and Rocco wonders why Nathan didn't grow up with Albrecht and Britt. Albrecht explains she wanted to hide Nathan from his father. At Alexis' home, Cody tries to leave the ladies and Rick to their lunacy, opens the door and finds Molly is standing there. Rick calls out to his daughter and she rushes in. Molly asks what happened to him as Rick looks at the women. Rick claims he's been in hell for the last 30 days, and Cody saved his sanity and life. He closes the lid on Alexis' laptop, which has a 10-minute timer counting down until the transfer completes. Rick claims the digital detox group turned out to be a cult. He says it's all a little hazy, but he gave up his phone and then drank this tea, which was ayahuasca. He says when he finally came out of his extended daze, he got away, and that's when Cody found him wandering in the woods. Rick goes on to explain that Cody helped him and brought him here. Christina tells Cody that he really came through for Molly's dad. Cody claims he didn't, but Ava says he saved Rick from a cult and brought him back to his family. Molly insists her dad go to the hospital and won't take no for an answer. Molly leaves with Rick and Cody, and the women check on their computer to verify that the money transfer has finished. Everything went through, and they think Rick's hold over them is broken. Alexis, however, fears Rick won't let this go and will come for revenge. Cody and Molly bring Rick to the hospital, and Liz is stunned to see him in the condition he's in. Molly gives Liz the short version. Her dad has been lost in the woods and needs treatment for dehydration and exposure. Liz wheels him off. Molly thanks Cody for the help and the ride, but insists he doesn't need to stay. Cody says he's not going anywhere. They sit down and Molly says she owes him an Outback so much as her dad could have died. Liz gets Rick into a bed and hooked up to an 4, but says it doesn't look like he'll have to stay the night. She suggests he rest up as he has a lot of work ahead of him and Willow is a mess. Rick says he has to come clean with her about something. In the show's final moments. At Alexis' place, Ava is certain Rick won't talk, so Alexis asks what about Cody? Christina says Cody can't come forward without landing Rick and them all in prison, and he knows how much Molly loves her family. At the hospital, Rick tells Liz that he wasn't defending Willow pro bono, and Nina was paying him. Willow wouldn't accept his help if she knew Nina was involved. Liz thinks that before his nightmare in the woods, he never would have offered that up, so maybe some good did come out of his little trip. Meanwhile, Molly tells Cody she had something to tell him the night she found him with Ava, and never got to say it. What she wanted to say was, she stops and decides she should show him. As she leans in for a kiss, Liz interrupts as Rick wants to see Molly. On the plane, Charlotte sees the selfie Rocco took of him, Britt, and the others. She remembers her dad's warning about Britt and not to trust her, and Rocco can't either. Charlotte appears to ponder telling her mom but doesn't. At the Metro Court, Rocco tells Albrecht and the others that he read about Faison, but he had to have some good qualities. Britt tells Rocco all he needs to know is that Faison was a truly awful man, and thankfully he's dead. In Anna's office, Dante says they don't know where Nathan has been, but he'd never willingly be a part of anything involving Faison. Anna suggests that's why he can't remember, it's all a part of what is going on. Then there is the fact that Britt did fake her death, something Faison was good at. Everything goes back to Faison. In Steinbauer, Valentine tells Jack he doesn't have a name to give him, but the project Faison started is still running, and they are taking huge risks. Valentine only knows the person carrying out the project doesn't care who gets hurt along the way and is just as dedicated to seeing it through as Faison was. In her kitchen, Carly tells Jason that she has to get Joss out of the WSB, but Jason notes she can't do it without risking Joss' life. Carly looks at the vase of flowers Jack had recently sent and throws them against the wall.